Hey everyone, welcome back to Jervis Bay and Beyond. Something slightly different today. We've been asked by a few people about our setup. How do you get around and travel the country in a tiny little van? Yeah, so in response to the people requesting what our setup is like, we thought we'd do a little bit of a run through of our setup. So this is it. It's actually called a BRS Off-Road Pursuit, and the company BRS, they're situated in Redhead near Newcastle, just north of Sydney. This is I think actually #1 model that they made, one of the first ones, and first registered I think January 2016. We got it second hand because we got it obviously around the COVID lockdown when you had to wait 2 years for something. So yeah, so obviously they're more modern now, but with that, COVID has also pushed prices up, and these things are worth double what they were. So as I said, BRS Off-Road Pursuit, full off-road van. Comes with the XT Cruisemaster suspension. Hasn't got airbags. It's got the twin shocks and everything, and everywhere we've wanted to go, this thing will go. The beauty of it is it's not very heavy. I think the tare weight was 1.4 ton, which for what you get and the storage that it's got, like it's pretty good in this day and age. So I'll just do a quick run through of what we've got outside, and then Daniela can do the inside. So outside, we haven't got a shower inside or a toilet. It's not that big a van. We've got a shower outside, so we've got our shower rows neatly tucked away in there. We've got hot water. We set up a little ensuite tent if we need to, and that suited us quite fine. It's a Julka double ensuite, and so you can have your shower on one side and you've got your dry clothes on the other, and it's a breeze to set up and pack away. We've got our water fill. This van comes with two 95-litre water tanks, and this is where some of the electric stays. So if you want to come around here, and so we've got our 2000 watt inverter. So we've got a solar controller, MPPT controller. We've got EnerDrive DC, and we've got our AC charger as well. And so the 2000 watt inverter has allowed us to do most things we need, run coffee machines and so forth. So we've got heaps of storage. Like I said, that's where we keep our porta potty, and then on this side, this is where we keep all our alcohol. Now, when we're traveling, we have in here, we've got, it fits a fair bit of stuff. So we'll have our camp chairs, we'll have our camp table on the side. We've got another outdoor tent, gives us a bit of extra living space. The Julka tent goes in there, our clothesline goes in there. So we fit a fair few things. And when we're set up, obviously that's where we'll put all our drinks and stuff. So just our standard water hookup. It's our hot water system, which is great. So runs off gas and electricity. I think it's a 28-litre one. It takes about 10-15 minutes and you've got hot water, so that's great. If you come further forward, our drawbar, we've stacked a fair bit of stuff on here. So I've got two 20-litre water jerry cans for fresh drinking water, and then I've got 2 jerry cans for diesel, spare diesel. Alright, so yeah, just in here, like I've also got I've got a ladder, but I found that was a bit of a nuisance actually, because you can only use it for setting up the awning and not much else. So I'm going to get rid of that for the next trip, and I've just bought myself a telescopic ladder that lives in the back of the car now, so that can go. And then in here you'd have space, you can throw your firewood and stuff like that, you know, if you're traveling when it's a bit colder and you can actually have fires. Our spare wheel sits on the front. I think in the newer models they've got the spare wheel on the back. And then in here is where we've got our gas bottles, 2 4.5 kilo gas bottles, and you know what, we've never actually had an issue with both have been empty. You're never that far away from a refill station, so they've been perfect, and they run our cooking and stuff if we need to, if we're not powered up. And at the front here we've got a DO35 hitch, which is standard these days. Came with this Alco off-road hitch, which I found was really cumbersome, and I got rid of that. And then I also added the ARC 750 jockey wheel with this, which is pretty solid bit of gear, and that both served us well. Okay, so this is just the other side of the van. Again, more storage, and so awning and stuff and bits and pieces, fishing rods and a few things go in there. It holds actually a fair bit because it goes right to the other end. The other side of that's the hot water system. A bit more storage in here, you know. So I don't know, Daniela got a heap of washing detergents and bits and pieces in there, and that goes right through the other side as well. And this hatch is where our fridge lives. And so we've got when we bought the van, it had a 40 litre Dometic, but it was just too small because it was either fridge or freezer. And so then I can't change these dimensions, they're 500 by 500. So the Evercool 82 litre Infinita was the only thing that would fit in here. So then that was a bit of an issue as well, because then I had to get this fridge slide made up through Dun & Watson, like a custom one to suit this fridge. So instead of paying 400, I paid about 1100 or 1200 to get this fridge slide made up. But this fridge has worked great, fridge and freezer, and perfect. You know, like we've gone 5, 6 days, 7 days off grid, not a drama. Again, we've got a bit more storage in here. So what I've done in this one is I've just put in our barbecue. I've got a Sizzler marine barbecue. Again, it was really what fit, and so I've got this slide from Sizzler. I'm not going to pull it out now, but it slides out and then it spins around. And so we've used this for baking, for barbecuing, for frying and everything. So that served us really well, and just a little bit more storage just in here. It's not that full. It is. Apologies for the clutter, but when you're on the road 6 or 7 months, things can get a little bit messy. We've got an induction cooker as well, which is something we've bought recently, which I wish we'd done 6 months ago. So apologies for the outside noise. We've got leaf blowers going and all sorts of stuff. That's what happens when you stay in a caravan park. So I just wanted to let you know. So we've got, when we're off grid, our fridges, which you'll see there's another one inside and the one outside, and everything else that we runs off our lithium batteries. We haven't got a huge setup, but we don't need it. I've never run the batteries down to more than 75%. So we've got 200 amp hours of lithium. They're SOK batteries actually, and they've worked really well. And they sit inside. We've got 200 watts of solar on the roof. I haven't got much roof space, real estate for solar, so it came with a 100-watt panel. I added another 250s, so I've got 200 up there, and then I run a 200-watt solar blanket, and those 400 watts of solar is more than enough to charge those batteries. It only takes 3 or 4 hours, even on an overcast day.
Hi everyone, so Rob showed you the outside of the van, and I'm going to take you through the inside. We'll start off first with these muck mats. We actually bought them and we found them to be perfect, especially when you're free camping and you're collecting a lot of sand and rocks and things like that. That stays in the mat. You just basically get it and it all just comes out very easily. So they're perfect. We also have this step which is electronic. Before you go, when you're setting up camp, basically you just put that down to be able to get inside. Our door opens on this original model. It's sort of like it's a split door, so we open it up like that. On the newer models, I think it's just one whole door.
It's just one Goldwing door, yeah.
Yeah, that flings open. Where ours is, you can have that open and have the bottom half closed if you like, or just open it all the way. Well, the van does not come with a fly screen. I actually bought this netting, cut it down the middle, put this zipper in there and sort of concocted it myself, and Rob ended up taping it onto the sides.
Just a bit of Velcro.
So we needed this, especially when you're camping along rivers, creeks, things like that. You do get a lot of mozzies, midges, whatnot. Okay, so I'll take you inside the van now. This is our queen bed. It came with a foam mattress. We actually got an inner spring mattress made up for it. We didn't want bad backs travelling this long on the road. So Rob and I sleep here. You've got that skylight window, so there is plenty of light inside the van. We've got the Sirocco fans. We've got some storage along the sides.
We added them. It didn't come with the Siroccos. Yep.
And then, like I said, we've got storage on the sides. We've got speakers at the back as well. There's power points and stuff. 12 volt little sockets as well that we use. Here we keep all our little bits and bobs inside these latches in here. Rob put up all these hooks, these suction hooks from Bunnings. So they've come in really handy. And then we've got our drawers here which we keep our clothes in. We ended up buying these little dividers which come in handy sort of to keep things from mixing and stuff, and you pretty much roll everything up in here.
Where did you get them from?
They're from Bunnings as well.
Oh wow, need to be sponsored by Bunnings already.
So they've come in handy. So we've got the two drawers. We share, Naomi and I share the bottom drawer, and then I share some.
Probably show them how far they open out, eh?
They do open a fair bit. I've got some stuff plugged in here, so
Okay.
I'll take that out. So they're quite deep.
Yeah.
So
And they hold a fair bit of stuff.
yeah, an aircon up here. That's especially when you're connected to power. That comes in so handy up in the top end, or most of WA actually. It's been quite hot, so we've run that a fair bit.
Yeah, we can't run that when we're off grid because we haven't got enough battery power, but
Well, we use the Sirocco fans and just ventilation. We've also got this little dining area, so you've got the two lounges there, and then this pulls out, so we can sit inside when it's bad weather and eat inside. So that pops out, closes like this. There's these little latches, and that pops back in. So under this lounge we've also got an inside fridge. So this is where we keep our butter and dips and little cheeses and whatever it is in that one. Under this lounge is where the battery system lives as well, so you can access that.
Yep, so that's just where our batteries stay.
We've got the little kitchenette in here. There's a TV. We've got
These are other speakers.
yeah, the speakers. There's a, what do you call it, a radio.
Yeah, you do call it a radio.
Well, you can chuck in CDs in that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
So there's your battery management system. This tells us how much battery we have, how much water we have in our tanks, temperature, things like that.
So this is our inside stovetop. So that pops open, and we have here 3 gas burners and 1 electric.
Yeah.
There's also your grill here.
Yep.
And that's come in handy again when it's been blowing a gale. That comes back down. Rob's coffee machine where we flick on the inverter when we're free camping to be able to use it off grid.
That's been great. That's just a little Breville. It's a 1600 watt and runs off our inverter, off our batteries, not a problem.
This is where I keep my spices in this. There's a spice rack in there.
Yeah.
Pots, pans, all sorts of stuff in these drawers. They're quite deep, you know. They're all deep drawers, cutlery, other stuff in here as well.
You'd be surprised how much you can get in if you make sure you take only what you need.
Yeah.
It's been more than enough for us, for 3 of us, to travel comfortably and have everything we need. Just in here, I was just going to point out, is just where the electrics are, all your safety switches and things like that.
We've been asked by a number of people how the 3 of us fit in this van. So it is designed really as a 2-person van. However, Rob has constructed out of plywood this bench that comes across here, which I will show you, and we set that up at night, get rid of it during the day so it's nice and spacious in here. Give me a second and I will concoct this and show you. Okay, so this is the plywood.
Yeah, just a bit of marine plywood, some angles, and I just put some marine carpet.
So that just pops in here quite simply. Slide that in. We got another cushion made up. It's not identical in colour as the other ones, but no one really sees it.
Couldn't find the matching vinyl.
So that goes on top. Then we have an inflatable single mattress. that goes perfectly on top of there, which gives Naomi cushioning. Every night Rob and her have a fight as to who's going to sleep on this lounge. It is actually quite comfortable, the inflatable mattress, so she doesn't want to give up her bed. This is where she sleeps. Pops a pillow on this side. We have a sleeping bag, and it's worked brilliantly for the whole trip.
So you're probably wondering, poor Naomi sleeping on an inflatable mattress. It's not a $10 Kmart one that we've got, and inflatable mattresses have come a long way. And so Daniela did mention I've been fighting Naomi to get to sleep on the end of that bed because it is super comfortable. So what we've got is it's a Zempire brand, and it's a self-inflatable thing, and I kid you not, it feels like a mattress.
Like an inner spring mattress.
It feels like a mattress. It's because it's not. They must have all separate little inflatable pockets in it, and so it makes it. It doesn't feel like it's full of air, and they are really comfy.
And I just wanted to mention that this van is one solid piece. There is no canvas. It doesn't pop up or pop out or anything like that. So when it's quite windy outside, it blocks out most of the noise. It's well insulated, and just having us all sleep in this, you do have a comfortable night's sleep where you're not hearing your canvas flapping around.
Yeah, it is really cozy. So the makeup of the van is marine alloy and fiberglass. So the bottom half, this is your marine alloy, and this is just the belt that goes around where the joint is. This white part obviously is your fiberglass. So they're the only two components to this van, just like a shell that comes together. No other joins apart from around the middle. I did mention that it was a 1.4 ton tear, so it's got a 800 kilo payload, which is pretty good, loaded up a fair bit, and you're still only 2.2 ton fully, if you were to fully load it as well, which is quite good. So lastly, the outside, we've got this awning, and due to the unconventional shape of the van, we can't have one of those awnings that pulls out. So we've got a canvas that goes through a slot, I suppose, that we set up, and just with your normal poles and that. But this thing gives us a bit of extra living space, and we have enjoyed this. We just put a shade on the front, and it just opens up a whole extra room for us, and it's been enough. It's been enough. If you spend heaps of time outdoors and enjoying the outdoors, this van for a sleeping quarters is so super comfortable, and this awning gives us enough outdoor space more than ample for us. And obviously there's pros and cons to everything that you do. So there's a lot more pros than there are cons for this van. I love its durability. I love that it's so solid yet not super heavy. Goes everywhere we go, and I don't feel like we're just staying with the standard Hilux, and I don't feel like it's heavy on the car at all. Negatives, cons, I'd say, look, two things. You know, when you're traveling full time, well, not permanently, but for an extended period, I would say not having an island bed. Daniela
that's my biggest con.
That's her biggest con. Fixing the bed, because you can't get around it, so that can be a little bit annoying when you're doing a day on day, week on week for months on end. And then the other thing is, as you get a little bit older and you need to go to the toilet more often, not having a toilet inside, so then when you got to get up during the night, especially if you've had too many
wines the night before.
Yeah, and you need to get up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
So to have this toilet inside comes in very handy when you're free camping.
Yeah, so they're the things I'd say, just that not having the island bed and the toilet inside. But then what do? You know, like, you can't have everything. I haven't seen a perfect van out there, and we've come across so many people having smaller setups than ours, bigger setups than ours, and everyone's got a gripe. Yeah. But I would say, yeah, they're the positives and negatives of this setup. So there you have it, the walkthrough of our little setup. Hopefully we haven't missed anything. If we have, just mention it in the comments, and we will endeavour to get back to you, whether it's in regards to this or anything else. Actually, you know, we'd really enjoy and appreciate your feedback. And just last thing I'd like to say on the setup, you make it work. You know, you fit the circumstances, and as I said earlier, doesn't matter what setup you have, there's pros and cons to every one, and this one has suited us perfectly. We made it work, and don't make it an excuse to not get out there because you haven't got the perfect setup yet. Just do it in whatever you can afford and whatever you've got. Get out there and enjoy it while you can.